The people of East Mosul find themselves on the front line. Their neighborhoods are bullet-strewn and barricaded, with snipers on the rooftops and bodies on the ground.
هذا البيت عقارات الدولة الإسلامية كان وهذا همين اللي قاعدين بيهم.
There's no food here, no water or power, although the odd soldier hands over supplies. So residents must make a momentous decision. Do they stay or run for their lives? Are you going to leave?
قررت تطلع؟ ليش؟
It's understandable. ISIS is firing at them, and the Iraqi army fears some civilians may be suicide bombers. So all 18 members of the Ahmed family are staying put.
تقريبا ماكو امين نروح نضل هنا ماكو. والله خاف ليش ما قلك ما خاف تخوف شويه هاونات تقع خاف نخاف طلقات عندنا اطفال يخافون بالليل يبكون هاي بالليل احنا الساعه 6:30 7 نيمهم من الخوف يرجفون ما نقدر نطلع يعني ضرب.
In a place where fear is the only constant, tens of thousands have decided to go, and we saw them walking out of this lacerated city with weary legs and shattered nerves, supported on old carts and wheelbarrows. Their only protection, white flags tied to sticks and broom handles. How do you feel? This is Gogjali village, 1,500 meters from the front line, and for many it has come to symbolize salvation. Ahmed Abbasi and his family left their home at 5 a.m. and he told me he's surprised to be alive.
ما مصدق ما صدقت التنظيم هو تنظيم داعش ما يقبلون ترفع راية بيضاء تنقتل تنزح على القوات الأمنية تنقتل لازم أنت تروح يمهم رهاين.
The Abbasis and others have made their escape, but no one knows when they'll return. For the time being, they'll try to make a new home in a fast-expanding refugee camp. For some, this dusty village signifies the end. 2 American volunteers run a first aid station here, and we watched as they tried to keep the Hassan family alive. 4-year-old Mayad was buried under cement when their house was hit by a mortar. And it was an assault. She would not survive. The medics worked hard to keep her sister alive, while their brother, Yahya, looked on. Mayad's mother and father were overwhelmed. It didn't stop there. The next patient was an 11-year-old girl called Abir Jazan Ahmed. She was shot through the right lung as she tried to escape. And there was nothing these first aiders could do to help. She was wrapped up in a blanket, and her father took her to the side. Where he and Abir's brother began to grieve. Later, I asked one of the medics, a former machinist from San Diego, how he coped.
There's been a few times where I start to break down in the middle of treatment, or you can tell one of our guys starts to lose it, but we kind of quickly snap back into it.
Those refugees who make it out of Mosul aren't guaranteed their freedom. Before they reach the camps, the men are screened. Iraqi intelligence officers here looking for members of IS, the threat from within.
The men and the women have been strictly segregated, and the women haven't been asked any questions at all. The men subjected to a pretty basic, a pretty perfunctory interrogation process. The names will get checked against a computer as well. So far, that's it.
Later, several men were isolated, then taken to the office of a former auto shop off the highway. Officers told us they'll be taken for further questioning. Eventually, Ahmed Abbasi and his family made it to the camp, although they had to walk 2 kilometers to find themselves a tent. Many more people are expected. In fact, this place has doubled in size over the past 2 weeks. But the fact they made it is something of a success. John Sparks, Sky News in northern Iraq.